I will pay anyone $50 of imaginary money if they can explain to me what the hell happened at the end of TNA this week. I thought the Cyndi Lauper segment on Raw was extremely awkward and very, felt very out of place on the show and was really weird and very bad. I didn't think anything could top it, but that closing segment on Impact this week, that was, wow. If they were going for confusing, weird, and just plain awkward, I mean, congratulations, you win, but I feel like I can't even make fun of the segment because I don't know what the hell they were trying to get across. I'm like, okay, AJ and Dixie aren't having an affair. Got that. This random drug addict chick comes out of nowhere. Okay, she's a drug addict. I get that. But I completely missed the point of what her role in the whole thing was. So the whole thing just came off as very confusing and very weird. Didn't care for it. Just TNA, I praised you last week, and then you turn around and do something like this. What's wrong with you? But yeah, there's that. I did see No Way Out. I downloaded it after the show was over, and unfortunately, there were a few good matches, but overall, it kind of just followed the same trend as Over the Limit, where just very awkwardly put together. A lot of it just felt like pointless filler, and it gave off the impression that they were just making it up as they went along, which is a bad WCW trait. I don't like it when companies remind me of bad WCW. That's not good, to state the obvious. And I was not a fan of the main event at all. I thought Cena and Big Show had a really boring match. But, yeah, chalk up another not-so-stellar pay-per-view entry for the WWE. But I did want to talk about something good that the WWE's going. Two good things. Number one, for all my bashing, and as much as I disliked Raw this week, I will say this, and I haven't mentioned this in any of my previous videos or even in the No Way Out preview. I don't think I did, but I actually kind of like what they're doing with AJ's character, and I've really come to kind of like her. I like this kooky Harley Quinn thing that they've got going with her, and I hope they kind of keep it going because she's the best character in the Divas division of all the female characters in the company. She's the best one, right? I mean, not that carries much weight or says much, but given the current state of the Divas division, but I was like, she's actually kind of interesting, which is a lot better than what she was a few months ago, where she was just the abused girlfriend, and I had no idea who she was or where she came from, so I was just kind of like, I'm sorry, honey, who are you? Kind of thing, but now it's like, okay, I know who she is now. She's kooky, crazy chick, and I kind of like her, but, so I will praise them for that, but one other thing I'm going to praise the WWE for is what I think is the best storyline in wrestling right now, and centering around what I think is the most interesting character in wrestling right now, and that is the Brock Lesnar-Triple H feud. The way they've handled this has been so good, so well performed, so well written, so well just executed in every way. I can't even believe that the same people that are writing the rest of the show are writing this angle. I almost refuse to believe that the same people are writing this angle. It's that good. It almost feels like a separate show onto itself whenever they cover it. And what I like about it is they didn't oversaturate it. There's a tendency to, if they have a storyline going, they will address it every week. Because if they don't address it one week, then the IWC goes crazy and they get impatient and they think, oh, the angle got dropped if it wasn't featured 1 week. But I think it's fine not to oversaturate it and just let it simmer for a while. I think it was very wise to, instead of having Triple H and Paul Heyman jaw-jack at each other every week, they pretty much got all their points across in 2 segments together and just let the story kind of flesh itself out. And they did it with limited TV time, and I think it was great. And I think Paul Heyman in these things has really shown the value of managers. I will say that. Because, the only knock that anybody really has on Brock, especially since his return, is that his promos are terrible. But now he has Paul Heyman speaking for him, and that problem's fixed. And the way they've really crafted the situation, what they've done is they've played off of how people perceive Brock Lesnar, how wrestling fans perceive Brock Lesnar, And they've made that into his character, and it's really, really fascinating. And it's made Lesnar, to me, the most interesting character in wrestling right now. His motivations are understandable. He's a perfect dick heel, letting his lawyers and his personal representatives do the talking for him. He left the company because he felt he was too big for the company. I mean, he's got, believable character motivations and everything, and a great source of heat for him. And he's got Paul Heyman speaking for him. So he's just, right now, Lesnar's just great. And he isn't even on TV. And he's the best character in wrestling right now. So it's like the mystery, well, not mystery, but just the fact that we don't see him much, and they've crafted this great storyline around him to make us want to see him, mainly want to see Triple H kick his ass, because that's what they're doing, that's what they're setting up right now. It makes whatever he does feel like a bigger attraction, and when he does show up, it'll feel like a big deal. Now, WWE Creative, they've had to structure the story this way because of Lesnar's limited appearances, but they've worked that to their advantage in a brilliant way, I think. And so, you don't have to be on TV every week to be a compelling character. Not everything needs to be resolved or advanced right away. One of my criticisms of the Triple H Undertaker storyline they had going into WrestleMania is that once the match was set up, the promo segments they did every week involving Taker, Shawn, and Triple H kind of got repetitive, and they were kind of just saying the same thing over and over again, which just made me ask, why didn't they just do the one segment and then let that be it? You don't have to give them 20 minutes every week just to say the same things. And they could have easily made that mistake with this storyline if Lesnar was available, but because Lesnar does work a limited schedule, they've had to space out all of the storyline pieces leading into the match at SummerSlam. And I think it's worked to their benefit. I think it's been very good. I think the segments came off very well. I think Heyman and Triple H had by far the best segment on Raw this week. I don't even think that's a question. And, I think that Triple H and Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam is a great attraction because they told the story and built the feud very, very well. And I can't wait until Lesnar actually shows up, and I think the match is going to be a worthwhile pay-per-view attraction for their second biggest show of the year. So kudos to the WWE for that. They've got one storyline going on right now that I think is really, 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 really good. And I would say it's the best storyline in wrestling right now. So congratulations to the WWE on that one. But that's all I wanted to talk about this week. I wanted to keep it at least fairly short for me. Again, I'm going to remind you that I am working on my Raw video in celebration of the 1000th episode of Raw. I'm going to do a video highlighting and reviewing and discussing my all-time favorite episode of Raw. I'm really excited about how this video is going to turn out. I think it's going to turn out to be one of my better ones. I've started working on it already, and it's like, wow, it's really bringing back a lot of great memories. Just rewatching the episode and talking about all the characters and the talents that were featured on the show at the time. And I'm probably giving away the time period that this episode of Raw takes place, but, that's all right. But yeah, so be on the lookout for that. That'll be coming up in the next few weeks, and that's all I got for now. So again, thanks for watching my video. Thank you to those of you who signed the Thundercats petition last week. I certainly appreciate it. And I will see you all next week. So later, everybody.